Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce CRMA Analytics video session 229. So basically in today's video, we will actually cover on the filtration part, just like we covered for the filtration part of dimensions and measures. Now we will cover about the date parts, okay? It will be a combination of filters. So let's start on that. And I think here the opportunity data set will be quite handy as we have the close date, which can look up on the future dates as well, okay? So I will open this particular data set and directly I will go to filters. And over here, let's say I go for created date, okay? And let's say I go for something like, for example, current year to date, okay? So I'm adding this filter, created date, current year to date. It's not showing any data. Let me go for previous year to date, okay? So let me go for previous year to date. What happened? Okay. Yeah, previous year to date, which is fine. Okay, for previous year also, it's not showing any data. Uh, Okay, let me go for custom then. Okay. So let's say I take values from this year to this year. Oh, sorry, I selected previous quarter. I'm sorry, it has to be previous year. That's why I was wondering. Okay, previous year to date. Fine. So I've taken this created date, previous year to date, and let's say I go for close date. And for close date, what I can do is I can go for an absolute date. Okay, or let's say I go for relative itself. So when I go for relative, let's say I go something related to week, for example. Fine. So let's say I take something like 4 weeks ago to 4 weeks ahead. Okay. So 4 weeks ago to 4 weeks ahead, and let me add this. No result found. What I can do is I can just change this to all condition. Fine. I will just change this to all condition so that I can get some records. Okay, cool. Now, basically, okay, let me open my notepad as well. Okay, this is the one. And over here, like this is the whole thing which you can see. Now, what I'm going to do is like, let's say I go for the query mode. Okay. So firstly, this is the count of rows where created date is previous year to today and close date is 4 weeks ago to 4 weeks ahead. So I will just write over here. Previous year to today. And close date 4 weeks ago to 4 weeks ahead and close date. Okay, so that is the thing about this one, filtered by. And of course, this will be the dataset name. Okay, let me give it over here. And I will hide this one. We will not refer to that one. So total count of opportunity records filtered by created date, previous year to today, and close date. Fine, close date, 4 weeks ago to 4 weeks ahead. Okay. Now let's move to this SAQL and understand how the code is being written. So firstly, we are loading it. Group QL, these things I'm not reading it once again. This is very much clear. We will just come to the second line itself. So Q equal to filter Q by. At first, I'm giving the date portion, right? And because it's a relative, I'm just giving 1 year ago to current day, right? 1 year ago to current day, that is completely fine. Or again, I'm mentioning this date part, as you can see here. So in square bracket, you are going to have 1 year ago till current day, double dots. And this will be in, basically, I'm giving 4 weeks ago till 4 weeks ahead. That's it. Okay. So whenever it's the month lying behind, so we write it as AGO ago. And basically, if it is ahead, we write ahead. That's it. Okay. And for present day, we write it as current day. So that is the whole thing about this one. This is the main line. And now let's try it out. So once again, I will open this and directly on SQL, I will write that particular thing. So firstly, Q equal to, we already learned about the functions related to date. So not an issue here. I think we'll be able to do it right now. So here, Q equal to load this, Q equal to The filter part I will write a bit later. It will be quite long actually for this date as well. Q equal to group Q by all. Let me write the other things. And Q equal to for each Q generate count of Q as A and Q equal to limit Q 2000. Okay. And here what I'm going to write is filter Q by filter Q by filter Q, yeah, filter Q by. So at first I will mention the date, and here I'm going to write created date underscore day underscore year, comma, created date underscore month, comma, created date underscore day in, and of course this will be in square bracket, and I will mention this part. Okay. Or again I will copy this whole thing and I will just mention the close date. Okay, that is fine. I can copy this part because I'm doing in the, I'm writing for the same expression. So it will be close date, and let me just map it over here as well. Okay. Fine, and here it will be in. So again it will be dot dot. The format will be this for relative. So here it is mentioned 4 weeks ago to 4 weeks ahead. So it will be 4 weeks ago to 4 weeks ahead. Okay. So this is a keyword you have to remember, ago and ahead. That's it. Okay, not an issue. And now we will just finally verify this one. So Q equal to load this, Q equal to filter Q by. I have converted this whole thing into date. Okay, I haven't written this one. Okay, and also let me write this in the next line. Okay, I haven't written this one. This will be actually previous year. So I think it will be 1 year ago, right? 1 year ago, and here it will be current day. Okay, current day. That's it. So in 1 year ago, or date of close date in 4 weeks ago till 4 weeks ahead, for which we generate count of years. I think, yeah, this is fine. So now let me just execute this directly in my SAQL query. As I can see the record 717, and that is matching as well. And I think the code is also matching. Yeah, the code is matching as well, which is fine. So yeah, that's the thing about this one. I'm not quite sure why I took that. Okay, I think because of the separate line, which is fine. Not an issue here. Basically, this part is done. Now, let's try to understand a few more functionality related to date. We will practice a few more. So in this way, keep on practicing because the more you practice in this manner, the more helpful it will be for you. Okay. So yeah, now let's check for a few other things. So I'm going for once again the created date, and let's say right now I take something like for example, let's say I take something like previous week. Okay, something like not previous week. Current day won't give me the previous week. Let's say I just take previous year, for example. Okay, so created it, I'm just taking previous year, and for close date, what I can do is maybe I can take something like let's say next week. Okay, so let's say I take next week. Fine. So again, I will just go for that or condition. Okay, there's no change in number, but that's not an issue. We are just interested in writing the code right now. Okay, so as you can see here, it is done. Created it is previous year and closed it is next week. So let me just write this whole thing over here. So here it will be previous year and close date is basically next week. Okay, now basically this is the opportunity. So as you can see, I'm always seeing the code and then I'm writing it, okay, which is fine. You always check the code and then you practice writing. And of course, a time will come when you will not check the code. You will revise the same concepts, like the same questions which I'm giving, and without just doing checking the code, you are just going to write it. Fine. So created it previously and closed it is next week. Now we will understand how it's being done. So this part you already know, and here you just write 1 year ago to 1 year. So whenever you're writing previous ago, you just have to mention both the things, 1 year ago to 1 year ago. That's it. Okay, that's the way it works out. And for close date, because I have written this one, which is close date is next week. So for next week, you just write 1 year ahead to 1 year ahead. So if it is previous year, you just mention both the things, 1 year ago till 1 year ago. And if it's next week, you just mention 1 week ahead till 1 week ahead. Okay, the ahead and ago is the keyword over here. I think this is also pretty simple. Now we will kind of write it. Okay. So again, Q equal to load. I'm quite sure along with me, you also became comfortable on how to write the group by and everything. Okay, hopefully that is expected from you. Fine, if you are practicing along with me. Of course, you might struggle a bit on filters, which is fine. Okay, which is not an issue. Filter Q by, I will write the whole thing better, but this thing we can just complete it all the time. Okay. Uh, okay, sorry, count of Q. Let me put the format actually. So here I'm going to write created it underscore day, created it underscore month, created it underscore day, and here it is previous year, so it will be 1 year ago, as well as the same thing I will write over here 1 year ago as well. Okay, 1 year ago. Okay. And here it will be, of course, close date. After all, I can just mention this right in the next line. So here it is, close date next week. So 1 week ahead, and the same thing will be written over here. Okay, that is 1 week ahead, and that's the thing. So Q equal to load. I'm loading this data set. Q equal to filter Q by date. I have mentioned this in 1 year ago to 1 year ago, or date of close date day to close date month to close date day in 1 week ahead to 1 week ahead. So that's the thing. Now I will just cross check very quickly over here. Okay. If I run the query, okay, here it is saying no result found, which is strange because I think we here already found 717, right? So let's see. I think somewhere we are making mistake. Close in 1 week ahead to 1 week ahead. Why it is saying no result found? Count of USA. The Q I'm loading it. Q equal to filter Q by. I'm writing the created date month in 1 year ago to 1 year ago. I think that's the thing over here. Close date is next week, right? And I have close date month, close date. So I have written next week, 1 week ahead to 1 week ahead. That is strange. It shouldn't have come up as 0. but I'm actually not able to understand where I have made a mistake. Okay. So anyways, we will analyze. So you can, how we can analyze, like, where it is going wrong. So let me see if somehow I can, 1 year ago to 1 year ago, or I just hope here I don't make any mistake. Date of, let me run it once again. Yeah, I'm a bit confused right now. Let's see, 1 week ahead to 1 week ahead. When I ran this query, it's coming the proper way, but here it is not showing in a proper way. I think somewhere I've made a mistake. Let us see where I've made a mistake. Okay. So anyways, basically what I can do is I can go for code comparison and I can analyze, okay, where I'm making a mistake. So let me open this tool online, which is code comparison. And here I will just find out, okay, where I'm making a mistake. So what I will do is I will copy this whole thing. Fine. I will paste it over here, and here also I will copy this whole thing. Just checking one last time. Okay, I'm not able to find it. Okay, and I'm just putting it over here. Find the difference. So as you can see, some kind of thing I'm able to see over here. So date of created date. Okay, probably the space I have not given. I guess I think you should that the reason. I guess that can be the reason. Okay, let's see. Let's see right now. Okay, that is not the reason actually. Let's see where is the mistake is happening, or date of okay, count of queue. Count of queue is fine, I think. If I write count of queue here, I think that shouldn't make any difference. Yeah, this count of queue is fine, but some kind of issue is happening somewhere. Date of created date. Okay. I understood the mistake. Actually, I have written the other way around. Okay, that's the mistake I was making. So here it has to be year, and here it has to be day. Okay. So yeah, that was the mistake. Here again, I have mentioned the day 2 times. Okay, some I overlooked. Okay, so now let me run it. Now, as you can see, this is completely fine. So I think I made the mistake which I was also not able to analyze. Now, this kind of mistakes you will be making, okay, with dates and all. And of course, this is another way you can compare. So sometimes, like, you can take the help of the date diff checker, or any other online tool. I usually prefer this one, diff checker. So here you get to see like what kind of code difference is there. Fine. So as you can see, like they have eventually pointed out, like this is the thing. I have written underscore date 2 times, and here also underscore date 2 times. Okay. So for that reason, I was not able to find. But yeah, right now it is clear. And one more thing is to notice is like if you just write count, right? I think then also it will give you result, by the way, huh? So whenever it comes to count, and if you have a single variable, you can skip the queue as well. It's not needed for you to write queue. That is something I just wanted to inform you. And yeah, rest of the things is fine. Now, basically in this way, we can keep on practicing a bit more. Fine. So let's say I just went for an absolute right now, but we have something related to absolute as well. Okay. So maybe what we can do is we can practice a bit more related to this absolute part. Okay, how that can be done. Okay, we can check a bit more, and maybe a combination of absolute as well as relative. In that way we can practice a bit more on this. We need a bit of more practice, so we will continue in the next session on this SQL practice related to date.